Hello, BookTube. Well, as you heard in a previous video of mine, since it's inevitable now that when I make a video, the doorbell is going to ring with someone delivering books to the house. I got books. I got a little mail haul. It's a dark and incredibly blustery day here. It feels almost like a typical autumn day. There's some element that's missing. I can't quite put my finger on what it is. There's still it almost feels like an undercurrent, a primer layer of late summer that is still here. The feel just isn't quite right for an autumn day, even though everything else is. The dead leaves are blowing, the sky is low, there's spitting rain in the forecast. It poured rain last night, just poured, sheets of it hitting the window. Even though all of those elements are in place, there's still something just not quite there. I don't know what it is, but we have a few books to go through here, so we'll see if we have anything that's interesting. Let's see what this first one is. Oh, okay. All right, good. This is a February 2020 book. I have not read this book. I am sticking to my determination not to read any 2020 books, but I have read a chunk of it. I've read a chunk of it, and I think it's going to be the next big YA thing for the gays. The gays need to be satisfied at all times, and I think this is going to be it for them. The last thing that was like this was Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and this this has that vibe to it. I think the publisher was probably trying to get that lightning to strike with What If It's Us from last year, or was it early this year? What If It's Us didn't quite work for me. I don't think it quite worked for a lot of readers, but oh boy, this one, unless I'm very much mistaken, unless the author somehow manages to forget everything about writing in the last half of the book. This is by Phil Stamper, and it's called The Gravity of Us. And it's a YA novel that comes out in early February. This is the author's debut novel, and it is perfect for fans of Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, who were the collaborative authors of What If It's Us. This is a smart YA book that tells the swoon-worthy story of two teens falling in love when their lives are uprooted for their parents' involvement in NASA's mission to Mars. The Gravity of Us. Cal wants to be a journalist, and he's already well underway with almost 500,000 followers on his Flash Fame app, an upcoming internship at BuzzFeed. But his plans are derailed when his pilot father is selected for a highly publicized NASA mission to Mars. Within days, Cal and his parents leave Brooklyn for hot and humid Houston. With the entire nation desperate for any new information about the astronauts, Cal finds himself thrust in the middle of a media circus. Suddenly, his life is more like a reality TV show, with his constantly bickering parents struggling with their roles as the perfect American family. When Cal meets Leon, whose mother is another astronaut on a mission, he finds himself falling head over heels and fast. They become an oasis for each other amid the craziness of the whole experience. As their relationship grows, so does the frenzy surrounding the Mars mission, and when secrets are revealed about ulterior motives of the program, Cal must find a way to get to the truth without hurting the people who've become most important to him. And I admit, I read a chunk of this, enough of a chunk of it to know that this author knows what he's doing. This is a debut novel, but this is a much loved, much worked debut novel. I haven't read the whole thing yet, and I won't until the new year, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be recommending it to you, so glad to have a copy. Let's see here. Let's see what this next one is. Oh, okay. All right, this is a 2019 release, and I have not actually read it. I have the advance copy, and I've only read a small chunk of it. The chunk I read was quite good. I liked it quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to reading the whole thing. This is by Francois Malby-Antony with help by Katja Williamson, and it's An Elephant in My Kitchen. What the herd taught me about love, courage, and survival. An elephant in my kitchen. And these are the real deal. These are African elephants, so they are quite big. Let's see here. As a chic Parisian, Francois never expected to find herself living on Thula Thula, a South African game preserve. But when she fell in love with conservationist Lawrence Anthony, and everything changed. When the unimaginable happened, sorry, having a bit of trouble here. When the unimaginable happens and Lawrence passes away, Francois has two options: retreat into sadness or take full responsibility for Thula Thula. And in this book, she describes how she fought to protect her herd of elephants and make her dream of owning a wildlife rescue center a reality and all her own. And this is, in one sense, it will be an intensely familiar thing, since these kinds of look at that. That is just insane. Why would you do that? that creature could kill you in an instant. Why would you do that? Oh my. There's a baby rhino in the living room, in the bedroom. Good Lord. Oh, that brings back memories of my little Lucy. She was considerably dumber than a rhino, and often felt that way in the house. Look at that. See, there they are with an elephant baby in the living room and in the kitchen. That reminds me so much of my little Lucy. She trundled around and it never moved very quickly and was always too ungainly for any such setting where she put her down. Okay, so this is going to be this is a sequel to The Elephant Whisperer, which was a book by this woman's, largely about this woman's husband, and not a book that I particularly liked, but I'm going to give this one a try. It's early November, and early November is almost here, so all right, so nature. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I don't know what that is. Oh my, okay. All right, I didn't see this coming. This is probably a 2019 release. Yes, this is also a November book. This is by John O'Connell, and it is Bowies Bookshelf, the 100 books that changed David Bowie's life. And just to make sure you know that it's real, he's smoking, because what's the use of reading if you're not burning your own lung tissue and also poisoning everyone around you? What's the use of reading? That is the sign that you mean what you're doing. That's the sign that you're cool and sincere. And if you don't have that, well, what's the point? What's the point of reading or being or anything? So there's certainly no point to taking a picture if you're not burning your own lung tissue while you do it. So there you go. He was a real reader, and there's only one way that you know that. Let's see here. What do we have about this book? David Bowie shared a list of the 100 books that were his greatest influences for the Victoria and Albert Museum's 2013 David Bowie exhibit. And now in this book, music journalist John O'Connell offers a unique literary look behind the neon curtain of Bowie's mystique, from fiction to nonfiction, literary and irreverent. Part epic reading guide, part biography, O'Connell's collection of short essays offers analysis and insight into each title that made an impact on this legendary figure. Okay, well, we shall see. These things are usually trivial, and this could be, but it sounds like the author has lots of writing experience, so maybe that will make the difference. Interesting. I think I can predict right down the line what the 100 books are. I think I can predict pretty much exactly what they are. Bowie was a big fan of bookshops. He was a big fan of over-tipping, of overpaying, of buying into whatever's going on at the local bookshop. But he wasn't all that adventurous a reader. He was a celebrity reader. And the difference between a real reader and a celebrity reader is that a celebrity reader will have the stuff that's talked about. It will have demographic boxes checked. But I wonder if they list the books. Yeah, Oscar Wilde, Christopher Hitchens, Lolita, Martin Amis. I imagine there'll be some surprises in here too. I mean, it's 100 books, so how could there not be? So we shall see. Could be really interesting. And then we'll do with this last one, and then we'll be done. I'm going to take the bean outside and hope that we can get around a possible afternoon shower The bean does not like being caught in the rain. She does not like even the experience of rain. She doesn't even like hearing it outside. So I'm going to have to dodge that today, I think, and maybe a little tomorrow. Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. Okay. This was really good. So this is a paperback. This is out already. This is out already. I wonder if I am blurbed in said paperback. Oh no! Oh goodness gracious! No, they've got all sorts of big wigs to be blurred. So this is out now. The date here was October 8th, but that wasn't strict. I'm sure this is in bookstores already. This is by Alexandra Ritchie, and it is Warsaw 1944, Hitler, Himmler, and the Warsaw Uprising. And it's very good. I read it and liked it a lot. I don't know if we hauled it on this channel. I can't remember. It's 10,000 books that we've hauled on this channel. This book tells the full untold story of how one of history's bravest revolts ended in the destruction of a major European city. In the summer of 1944, the Polish Home Army began a large-scale uprising against Nazi rule. For more than 60 days, the Polish fighters controlled large parts of their country's capital and held off the SS's most vicious forces. But in the end, their planning was poor, their luck was terrible, and their efforts were doomed. Cynically abandoned by Stalin and unable to win significant support from Western allies, the Home Army was left to face the Nazis alone. The crackdown that followed was among the most brutal episodes of history's most brutal war, and the author's clear-eyed narrative reveals the daily drama and complex legacy of one of World War II's most significant events. And I thought it was of course it's had many, the uprisings had many histories, but I thought this one stands tall among them. I liked it a lot. Very glad to have a trade paperback, especially since I'm pretty sure I sent the hardcover to one of you. So that's great. And that does it. That is this little mail haul. So what have we got here for Steve Pile? We have An Elephant in My Kitchen, which is literally true. The little baby elephant calf that's in the kitchen. We have Bowies Bookshelf, the 100 books that meant a lot to the rock and roll star. We have Warsaw 1944. And this is in paperback now. This paperback is $22. And it's out already. It'll be in your bookstores. So if it was too pricey for you, or maybe your library didn't order it or had a long waiting list or whatever, you can just go to your bookstore now and get it. And it's well worth your time. It's a big, comprehensive history of this event. So if you're wondering, if you're interested in it and you're wondering, well, I went on to Wikipedia or Goodreads or Amazon and I saw that there are 30 books. Which one do I start with? This is the perfect one. You can start and finish with this. If this can be your book on that subject if you don't want to do any more. And lastly, Phil Stamper's debut, The Gravity of Us, which I think you're going to be hearing a lot about in the new year. I really do. It would be an absolute delight to talk to him on this channel. I have no idea if such a thing would even be remotely possible. It's like I said, right now I ask a lot of an author to do that. They have to come out here, first of all, to Hyde Cottage. They have to be okay with a 10-pound little ball of fur screaming at them for 20 minutes. And they have to be willing to just deal with the fact that I have no technical ability whatsoever. I don't have a setup here. I don't have a studio. I don't have ring lights. I don't know how to edit. I don't have any microphones or anything like that. It's just a normal talk between two people, one of whom's written a book. And I did that. James Verini was willing to do that, and we had a ball, and you all seemed to like it. It brought his book to your attention. And I would love to do more of that, but it's a little bit of a specialty thing. So if Phil Stamper is coming to Boston and if he's willing to do it, if he's a dog person, then I would love to talk to him about this book, even the part that I've already read. And, that's nothing compared to what the questions that I'll have once I've finished it. But anyway, that's all for later. I'm not even going to be thinking about that in another month. So that's it for today. Pretty sure that's all the mail we're going to get today. But I'll be back. Don't you worry. Thank you, BookTube.